Because if we filled this theatre with 200 of the world's greatest leaders, we would not find them having spent much time in leadership development programs. We would also not find them learning how to adopt a leadership style or a set of leadership skills or competencies to be better leaders. It's simply they don't do it. Leaders of every conceivable shape, size and personality you can imagine. So going on a program teaching you to become like something else doesn't seem to me to be a terribly effective way of learning leadership. So what is leadership? Leadership is not something you do at all. And it's certainly not something you do to other people. It's a journey you're on. It's a journey you're on that inspires other people because of various elements to it. It's passion, it's authenticity, it's a real journey, and it's courage. But all of you, I hope, are here to spend 50 minutes on a roller coaster ride exploring how we as individuals, how you here now deal with the challenges of the new century. Not just the challenges you face at work, but the challenges you face at home, and the challenges you face if you play sport, the challenges you face of uncertainty and confusion and risk. How do we start to deal with that profusion of choice? And when there is so much choice, when choices are about do we eat today or not, there isn't much of a conflict of choice, is there? But the choices we face give us huge conflicting desires, and that produces, I believe, an intense restlessness in the souls of most people. Why the restlessness? What's the matter with me? What's the matter with us? With all of this abundance around us, and we're still frustrated with what we've got, we're still dissatisfied, we're still unable to communicate a lot of the time among our peers, among our friends, among our colleagues at work without careers. The restlessness doesn't go away just because up here we know it's silly and it doesn't make any sense. And part of that restlessness and part of that confusion is because the rules are changing so fast about the way this world works. It's all very well being successful at climbing the ladder of success, but what if your ladder's up against the wall? There are sort of three groups of people in society, a bit simplistic but largely true. You meet some, don't you, who live in the same world that you and I live in, the same challenges, and they can barely function, they can barely cope. They sort of become dysfunctional in the face of even the slightest challenge. You know, they fall over bruised. Then there's the vast majority of us who live in a place where we cope pretty well. We've learnt pretty good survival tactics. We've learnt how to survive in this age of change. Wouldn't it be better to be in exactly the same conditions as where some people barely survive at all? Most of us have learnt how to survive, and some of us have learned how to thrive in exactly the same set of conditions. That, I think, is what we're going to be talking about in the next round. If we could be igniting something in the people that work for us, the people in our families, the people in our communities, ignite something that is on the one hand very soulful and very sensitive and very compassionate and very tuned in, and on the other hand very powerful. We can't deny mankind's ability to make things happen. How many of you feel like this on a Monday morning? Okay, let me ask you a different question. How many of you would like to feel like that more than most people do? Hands up. How many of you would like to be facing your work and facing your family and facing challenges with sparks of fire and passion emitting from your fingertips? Because I believe it's a choice. The results we get in life are the automatic byproducts of what we do. That's not rocket science. What we do, though, is the automatic byproduct of how we feel. That all of our behaviors, every single one of our behaviors, is driven by our emotional state, not by our intelligence. What do we have choice over? We have choice about how we interpret events. We have choice, therefore, about how we feel. There is a gap between the event and the moment you choose to respond in a certain way. Now, before you've made any choice at all, what exists in that gap? Infinite choice. Which do we pick? Which choice do we pick out of that gap? The same response we made yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before that. We are creatures in that gap between stimulus, between our response to it. Anything is possible. Leadership is not about changing what people do. Leadership is about changing what people believe. Because if they change what they believe, they will automatically behave differently. Leadership is about shifting people's beliefs about what they can and can't do. If leadership is about anything, it's about being able to create pictures of the future that you and other people can believe in against all the odds. What is believing in something when there's no evidence? What's it called? It's called faith. So as a leader, you demonstrate what is possible to your pupils, to your followers, and you break a belief system about what's possible. You shift the boundaries as to what you and other people can achieve.
Orderly scenes here, it's a foul! In the dying seconds of this hard-fought final, the referee has awarded a free! What must be going through that young man's head? If he can find the back of the net with this shot, the cup is there! He'll leave his eye home to a hero's life!
So peak performance is not about being given some strange gift that you're able to go, there are no weeds in my garden, there are no weeds in my garden, there are no weeds in my garden. You know, you look out and you have no garden left if that's how you live your life. It is not about positive thinking. It's about purposeful thinking. It's about deliberate thinking and about taking command of your thinking. You see, we follow the direction of our thinking. We are teleological creatures. We are goal-oriented creatures. We move relentlessly in the direction of our thoughts. It's impossible, when the thoughts come of the concrete ball, you pause, you go into that gap. You wait until you look down and it's a ball again. And you wait until the ball looks like a ball and the goal looks like this gaping, vast hole that you couldn't miss. And then you take the hit. How many people here worry? Hands up. You know what worry is psychologically? Worry is negative goal setting. Worry is creating a picture in here of what you don't want to happen. And we're so good at it, we don't have to develop those visualization muscles at all. You have them aplenty. We just have to change the picture. How much driving, energetic passion is there inside your organization? I tell you something, the more male it is, and the more left brain and logical and rational it is, the less passion there's going to be. Sorry guys, but it's true. How much real driving energy is there fueling your journey from your current reality, from the way things are, to where you want it to be, your desired reality? The fuel for that journey comes from the passion, the energy that you and the people around you feel. Nothing happens of significance without passion. Passion is everything. And Alice learned this lesson when she met the Cheshire Cat and she said, "Can you tell me which way I ought to go from here, please?" And the cat said, "Well, that rather depends on where you want to end up." And Alice said, "Well, I don't much care." And the cat said, "In that case, it doesn't really matter which way you go." How many people do you know who really don't care which way they go? But of course, they do at a deeper level. They do at the level of soul, of heart, of spirit. You see, winning is a habit, and so is losing. Imagine that you're sitting in a rocking chair, age 99 and a half. Are you looking back on your life going, yes? Or are you looking back on your life going, if only, or worse, I could have done better? T. Lawrence said, all men dream but not equally. Those who dream by night in the dusty recesses of their mind awake to find that it was vanity. But the dreamers of day are dangerous men, that they may act their dreams with open eyes and make it possible. The dreamers of day are dangerous men, that they may act their dreams with open eyes and make it possible. Human beings, I believe, like birds, develop their wings on the way down. That's certainly what leadership is about. It's about taking people to the edge and giving them a push so that they discover their wings on the way down. But if you're going to get them there, you have to be doing it too. Thank you very much indeed.